Hello guys, welcome to Fam and Reaction. My name is Chris.
My name is Lucy.
So this is a movie review of Baahubali Part 2, the conclusion.
And we were completely blown away. I'm going to let Chris talk first because he wanted to.
No, I'll let, that's what I wanted to say. I'll let you start with the conversation. So that's what I wanted to say. So yeah.
I was just saying I was completely blown away because when we saw the first one, I was blown away then. But there were lots of unanswered kind of questions.
Yeah,
and
it was
getting
confusing.
I was getting a little bit frustrated because I was like, oh, wait a minute. And who is it in the water at the beginning? Is that the mother? Who was it? And I assumed it was the mother. Oh my God, how amazing that was his grandmother.
Yeah.
And it was funny because obviously it was the same actor playing Baahubali the father and Baahubali the son. And so in the first movie, it was like, a little bit kind of like, sometimes being a little bit slow with working out who was who.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how fantastic the way that it was all pieced together. And I love the fact that you were left waiting for
Part 2.
For the answers because it all tied together like a puzzle so amazingly. The twist was it was absolutely...
The way they explain everything by the end, like what's happening, how everything, all the unanswered questions from part 1, that's the thing. And I was just like, every time they said, oh my god, and about the caterpillar as well.
Yeah, because every time I thought I got it, I suddenly went, but wait a minute, but I remember from the first, I said this to Chris, I said, but I remember from the first one, the grandmother was holding the young Baahubali, the son, and he was like, no, and I was like, I
just said, shush, watch the film.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, no, because I thought I had it before, obviously. But before they tied it together, but you didn't.
In part 1?
Yeah. Because I'm just saying, before they tied it together, I was like, but wait a minute, but she was holding the young Baahubali from the first thing. I was like, wait a minute, this is not making sense. Oh my God. And then of course when they showed exactly what happened, I was like, oh, amazing. I mean, it was just, and I must say, I absolutely loved the Queen Mother. I thought she was amazing actually. Really complex, and what I loved about her, I mean, as an actress, I thought she played, because she could seem so harsh at times, like literally we're just like, God, you've got like a heart of stone. I know her love for Baahubali was very clear when he was a baby and all this kind of stuff, but when she made her decision, like what Chris was telling me the other night was like, she thought of herself like God, it's like when she makes her decision, it's written in stone.
Yeah, that's what I had to explain to her. When she says something, it cannot be undone. It's like when God is saying something that is written down, right? You can't change something that God has said. You can't. It's impossible, right? That's what she saw herself as, with all that power. When I say something, it is the law. It is done. That's why nobody could do anything about it. And that's what I loved about Caterpillar, because Caterpillar, he's an honorable man, and that's why he had to kill Baahubali. I was just like, why don't you just say that
he had no choice?
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm trying to explain. Just, you had your word. What I was thinking, I was like, why don't you just tell Baahubali, the queen and your mother and the king wants me to kill you. But he tried to warn him multiple times, like, please leave me, go away, leave me alone, But no.
But he had to follow through. That's the thing.
Exactly,
and that's why it made it so complex. But he was such a lovely character. I mean, you knew straight away.
I loved him. Yeah.
But what I wanted to say about the Queen Mother is that she just played the two sides so incredibly that when, she has this complete incredible harshness at times, like a heart of stone almost, you're sort of like, oh my God, you're so cruel and you're hard. But then she suddenly would turn and she had this beautiful, like her love, obviously, for Baahubali. And she had this incredible softness with him, before all of the mistakes happened and whatever. She, as an actress, she played the two sides incredibly. She was so believable as someone very kind of high status, very hard, very kind of, makes her decision firm, but also being extremely like beautiful heart as well. You could see it in her eyes. Her eyes were just, they
made it believable.
Really fantastic actress.
Yeah. and I think so do Bahubali. Prabhas, he makes an amazing performance. But in part one, it's very confusing because then there's the Bahubali 1 and then the Bahubali and then another Bahubali and it's just
the
like
same actor. And when it first happened, we were
what?
like, wait a minute, we're confused. We're like, what's going on? How is that the father? But that's Bahubali. Like, and it's like they're both Bahubali.
But I was just like, even with the first hour when we watched this one, right? I was just like, wait, is this the kid or is it the father? I was just like, but then I looked at Katapa's beard and I was just like, oh yes, he looks a lot younger there, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, because in part one he had gray beard, and then I was just like, this is the father's story. I got so confused, and then I was just like, okay, now I get it. But then we were discussing about, okay, but he's supposed to die now. What happened then? Then will we see what happens to his son?
Yeah.
And
that's what I got worried about because it was like near the end of the film. I was like, but wait a minute. I was like, is there going to be a third film then? Because what about the son? I was like, okay, I understand now about the father. And then when it all came together like that, and just everything made sense, it was just like it was just amazing. But my favorite bit, the bit that was obviously incredible, is that when Katapa kills Baahubali, the fact that he mentions his mother, after everything, her mistakes and her kind of, her deceit and the way that she, really did listen to the evil brother, he still like loves, I mean, it just shows what a pure heart he had, what an amazing man, his love not only for his people, but for his mother. Very forgiving. So he was just this incredible character, like, and it really drew you in. But I just thought, it was wonderful acting, wonderful storyline.
Everything was just amazing.
The fight scenes were incredible, but so many amazing twists. And I just think, honestly, class one, amazing film,
I thought it was so sad when he got killed. I was just like, no, what are you doing? But maybe his spirit, whatever, went into his son.
Well, I think
because that's why he had to look exactly the same, right? And that's why the
way she held him up,
the evil brother, right? He said, "Oh, you look exactly like Bahubali. So now I have the chance to rip out your heart, right? Because he was having nightmares every day because he didn't get the chance to kill him. Then he had the chance now, but he's not strong enough. Bahubali is the strong one, and the son is too." And so Bahubali, yeah, Shiva, Bahubali, and poof, and that's why he's impossible to kill. Well, if you don't see it, right? If somebody's behind him and stab him, of course,
he's impossible to kill if he knows who his enemies are. And I think obviously because he didn't know, he thought Katapa was on his side. He didn't know.
He was, but
that's why he didn't.
He was on his side.
No, he was. No, but I'm just saying he didn't know that he had to kill him. Because
he
were just saying that there's no way anyone would basically get past him.
His mother even wanted to do it.
Yeah. But there's no way that the evil side would get past him. It's only because he believed, and because Katapa was good.
And that's what he also said.
Yeah.
See, by my side, nobody can defeat us.
No.
Yeah.
So
that's why he got sad. He was just like, no. Because
but then he understood. That was so lovely. You saw it in his eyes when Katapa killed him, and Katapa explained. He understood. That's what made it so amazing. Bahubali was just, he looked at him and he was like, yeah, of course, he knew that he had to do it.
Yeah.
And he worried about his mother, and he knew that, I think he knew deep down, obviously, that her heart was with him and that she'd made a mistake, and, it was confusion, but he was very protective over his mother.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. It was really, this film, I mean, I'd love to see it again.
Yeah. You know what? The mother should have been killed instead, because it's her fault. Everything here is her fault. She gave the power to.
That's the thing.
But she. Yes, that's right. Yeah. But before all that, she should have been killed because she was evil. I saw her as evil because she first of all said to Bahubali that the woman that he took in I don't know how to explain, but the woman should marry his brother instead, right? Then she didn't want to do that because her heart was him, and he said no too because they wanted to kill her.
She promised the hand to the brother. That's the thing.
Then all of it started, and you can't force somebody to marry somebody that you don't love.
But it was her mistake, though, wasn't it? It's like she made a mistake. And and then because she'd promised the hand to the brother, she couldn't go back on it because, like we said, you know, once she makes a kind of order, or you know, she says something.
She already did go back on the other one then, because she said that Baahubali was the right man for the throne.
Yeah,
right?
Then she changed her mind. Yeah,
and then she
because
changed her mind. Then she was wrong apparently, and gave it to the evil.
But I guess her answers always go, she's allowed to change her mind. Well, that's the whole point. That's what I was saying to Chris, actually, is that she could have changed her mind. That's what made me really cross with her. I know she couldn't, but she could, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, obviously she wouldn't, because her orders are her orders. And when she says something, it is written in stone. But like you said, she went sort of changed her mind then, you know? So in some ways, you know, if she was really, you know, pure-hearted, and wasn't kind of easily led and making mistakes, whatever, she could have turned around and said, okay, this was not my fault, and now my order will be this. You know, you could say that.
Yeah, but she don't.
But she wouldn't, because
she have her dignity, and she's like.
It was about dignity, and also she was a little blind. You know, at that point she was blind. She didn't understand. You know, and she listened to the brother.
Let's say in that position, she was dumb because she brought that up on everybody. It's her fault. Everybody dies.
Yeah, she made a big mistake.
Because she made her real son king, which is the worst mistake you could ever do.
But she knew that, and she learned everything at the end, and that was the sad thing. And that's why
shot her, and that's why he shot her, and that's why
And that's why she wanted to make her grandson, you know, the next king. I loved that scene. I was just saying, when she held him up, not the time in the river, as well, when she held him up from the castle, literally she's like, Baahubali, the new king or whatever, you know, and then of course.
And then that's where Katapa was like, yes, I'm protecting the king, the real king.
Yeah.
So that's what she said. So it's 25 years ago, and that's.
But a lot was, you know, it was about love. It was about honor. It was about kindness. It was about mistakes. It was just about, you know, so many things. It was wonderful. It was so wonderfully done. Yeah. So I really, I think this is really incredible. You know, because there's not many. We see obviously a lot of films. And a lot of films, you really like them and you appreciate them, you think they're really good, but you wouldn't really ever think of them again.
Yeah, exactly.
This film is definitely not one of those. This is a film that kind of will live through you, you learn from it.
I think it was
I'm still thinking about it now. I'm still thinking about other things and other characters. There were so many layers, and I just think, it was absolutely incredible. It's amazing.
Yeah. How many stars will you give from 1 to 5? I give 5.
Obviously, for me, 100% 5.
Perfect. I give 5 as well, because I think it was really, really amazing.
Loved it.
But any last words before we conclude the video?
No, I think I've said it all.
Yeah, me too. It was amazing. Let me hear what you guys think. Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notification bell so you can always stay tuned when we go live with the premiere. Until next time, peace out.
Bye.